Hey, man, welcome back.
See.
Long time no see. It took a while for us to get this one out.
Over a month.
Over a month, yeah, but here we are. We made it halfway in October already, leaving us with about 10 weeks until 2025. Isn't that scary?
That's pretty scary. It's only 10 weeks. We are 80% down for this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get this going before we get to the end of the year.
All right. What happened is that there are a lot of new train accidents.
Yep.
Too many, yeah. We need to have a look at a number of accidents involving trains and vehicles, as accidents have been way too common recently, especially high-profile cases with speeding trains and vehicles on the track. Not all accidents claimed life, fortunately, but a number of people were killed in a few of the serious accidents since mid-September, unfortunately.
Yeah. The series of accidents started roughly on the 22nd of September when the Fajar Utama Solo train, that's the intercity train from the city of Solo to Jakarta, all the way to here, collided with a number of people. Yes, not vehicles, people. That happened near the city of Karawang, which is 1.5 hours east of here. Yeah. That accident in Karawang led to 4 people being killed on the spot, as a number of them were actually tree spotting at the moment. There are even live videos of one of the persons being hit by the train. That's pretty gruesome, and we are not going to show that video at all.
No.
Don't worry.
The accident happened when a Kertajaya intercity train passed at roughly the same time as the Fajar Utama Solo. While spectators didn't see and hear the second train arriving from the opposite direction, and you can see that, among the other accidents is the crash of the prestigious Argo Bromo Anggrek train with a vehicle on 6 October. On 3 October, this year, the Gajayana train struck a vehicle which caused delays. On the same day, a vehicle struck the Kutojaya train as well.
You also got
That is a little bit from a different language. Yeah.
that was only for the few days in October. On the 1st of October, a minivan was struck by the Pariaman Express train on the island of Sumatra. That's one island over. But on that same day, the Pandalungan train was also hit by a truck.
Wow.
From there, it's only a few days earlier where the Gajayana train, yes, the train that was involved in an accident later on as well, in the same week, was hit by a pickup. On the 25th of September, a truck was hit by the Taksaka train, which was roughly the start of the series of this accident. Which was roughly the start of this series of accidents.
Yeah, and these series of accidents will never stop. Yeah,
That's right.
People learn from it a little bit, but eventually, like with the trash was burning and then the train. That was unbelievable.
That's what I wanted to talk about because, of course, I had my comments.
So yeah, how can we stop this madness? First of all, people need to be taught that a red light means stop.
Difficult one already.
Yeah, because that's a major issue in Indonesia. Not only for the railroad crossings, but also general traffic lights and pedestrian crossings, especially actually.
Yeah, that's my pet peeve. But it's really difficult here.
It's like a zebra cross. It's just like a decoration of the road, basically.
Yeah.
And, it's always not fun, but it always happens. It rarely happens that they stop.
Yeah.
And if someone stops, they get problems with the vehicles behind.
Yeah. Why do you stop? Why do you follow the rules, man? That's not normal. Yeah. But the thing is, if you see a railroad track and you don't stop and you don't look, that's a little bit more dangerous.
It is. So though there's proof that they're wrong, but for yourself, yeah.
Yeah. So as long as there's zero respect for automated systems like a railroad crossing, there is no need to expect that people will follow that very basic rule, and people will get into accidents regularly. This will need a change of mindset to get this solved, unfortunately.
So the point for me is basically that a lot of Indonesian people that will watch our podcast might think and might be very sensitive
And be offended, but
offended, and I would tell you all, we don't want to offend all of you.
only some.
Yeah, only some that are aggressive or whatever. But what we actually want to do, our goal is to raise awareness about the fact that when you live in a way that you can actually stop for a zebra cross and respect all the rules, so you can have no accidents, and for the people it's much more relaxed to walk and to cross, and then Indonesia will be a much better and likable country that way. It doesn't mean we hate Indonesia, of course.
It's a little change of mindset to actually stop for a zebra cross or red light.
Yeah,
It's apparently a bigger change of mindset to stop for trains. I don't know why. It seems really difficult, but
yeah,
the thing is, if you stop, it won't hurt you. It will take another minute or so, but it will help other people
yeah.
greatly. You're doing a service to all the people around you.
And to yourself.
Or to yourself, well, you stay alive. That's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah, you don't have an accident.
It's a little bit of a change that goes a long way and shows a meaningful change
Yeah,
in that part of the culture of Indonesia that is something you don't want to be having as a part of a culture.
yeah. And the thing is, there are people that complain, people like us that complain about these things, are actually making the country better. Not to
We try to.
Yeah, we try to not to be a big ass knowing everything better and put the Indonesian people in a lower position in that way. We didn't want that.
I'm waiting for the comments. You stupid colonizer.
Exactly.
And
That's what I wanted to say too. Yeah, I get a lot of complaints from Indonesian people if I complain in front of them about the road that you have to wait, the waiting line, and they always go first, or they try it anyway, or they
will stop on a zebra cross, not in front of it.
Yeah, or small things like if somebody's behind you with a big car of stuff that they buy, groceries, for example, then they never open the door for you. These are small social things that I think Indonesian people also like that, because when I do that for an Indonesian, they say, "Oh, thank you so much." So they love it.
Yes, and if they realize someone else does it and you appreciate it, you should probably start doing it yourself as well.
Of course.
I have a different one entirely. I always say thank you to the bus driver.
Yeah.
That's something I learned when I was little, when I lived in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
When you leave the bus or the tram in your city, like from the front, and you're passing the driver, just say thank you. Don't have to look at them. Just when you're on your way out, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, driver.
Exactly.
And they will always appreciate it. They will always say thank you back.
They appreciate it very much, because then they feel feel important.
They feel respected.
Respected. Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're a bus driver or train driver has nothing really special, because there's many of them. But a little bit of respect to each other goes a long way. And I have done that everywhere, whether I'm in the Netherlands, or in America even. And
do that. I mean,
it creates short but intimate contact between two people. And
it creates a harmony.
yes,
You don't
eventually will default harmony. Yeah.
Exactly. So again, what I like to live in Indonesia. I live here too, even though a lot of people say, "Yeah, you're not Indonesian. Go back to your own country." But this is where I live, and I just try to make it better for everybody. And that is still a learning process. And but again, we're not insulting this country, so that's I'll probably get lost to your moments, but
We are used to that. I use it as well, so that's no problem. But
no problem.
if we are wrong, also please let us know. You can explain yourself quietly,
To us.
peacefully. No problem. We will respect your opinion. We don't delete those comments. But if you're spouting hate, well, most likely your hate comment will be deleted by YouTube anyway. So I don't even see it, because
If not, then we do it.
I can't be bothered by watching the hateful comments anyway. I never opened that tab on the
Exactly.
website.
In a completely different story, still related to trains, of course, villagers in the area of Blora in central Java were able to make a train stop before an accident happened. Well, that's special, yeah? Observing pensioners Jamin and Sarmo noticed that a joint of the track near them had some issues.
Yeah. To make this train stop, the two men had to physically come into action and wave with their red shirts on the side of the track to get the attention of the train driver of the Dharmawangsa Express.
Yeah.
The driver noticed them on time and was able to stop before passing the broken joint.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So
That's
that's,
working together.
Yes, that was really close.
So the railway staff checked the situation and left the train pass at low speed before the track was repaired about 1.5 hours later.
That's really fast.
That's really unbelievable fast. Yeah. So there are a lot of good things,
Yeah,
of course.
there you go.
So two elderly men were praised for their heroic actions, knowing that the derailment at top speed would probably not have been a happy news for them, basically, for a story like this.
Yeah. A few days after the accident, which is about 2 days ago today, when we are recording this, both Jamin and Sarmo received this certificate. They received a certificate of appreciation that came with a cash reward of 10 million rupiah, which is some 550 euros.
Yeah. That per person? Or?
Yeah, that was per person. So that's a nice bonus.
Yeah.
And that's way more than a monthly salary for those people.
Almost, yeah. Exactly.
Well done.
Well done. Absolutely.
In what apparently came over from mainland China from a few years ago, Indonesians have started on street and on location live streaming on TikTok to get a piece of the pie in the form of donations and gifts to the app.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, amazing.
This is amazing. Yeah.
The clip will show somewhere here on top of me or on top of you.
Yeah.
Still see.
So the strange sight of numerous youngsters lined up along the roads, the eastern flood central of Jakarta, has not got unnoticed. There aren't actually entire crowds, just like you see from the clips from China, but up to a dozen live streamers active under the shady trees along the canal is still remarkable.
It's pretty amazing.
So they came from China.
No, that idea. It's just Indonesia.
In Chinese.
I think because in China it's common to see people live stream in busy locations because TikTok works in a way that it attracts local viewers. So if you're live streaming, people from your area will be seeing it first.
Yeah.
So if you manage to capture an area which is busy in people, and maybe rich people or relatively rich,
then you get all of that.
Then you get more gifts and donations. Right?
The good way of marketing.
I think that's the case. Something like that.
And they get money for it as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What they normally do in front of traffic lights, singing and then collecting money.
Yeah,
they can now do live streaming. And the donations will be online as well. So you, from being out in the sun, and you can
save your money.
Give them a nice view with a nice background of some trees and canal. So that
makes some money.
That is all doing it. Yeah, I've seen some of the clips. People have do stream from like 7 in the morning until 12 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So that's 5 full hours.
Yeah.
And they bring their batteries and
snacks,
lights and snacks and everything.
Yeah. They live there basically.
They live there like half a day per day. And well, the thing is, you still have to stream every single day. Imagine having to travel to that location, setting up everything.
Go home again.
Streaming, properly streaming isn't cheap as well.
No, because you have to stay a lot of time. And,
you take up cameras and stuff like this. I appreciate the effort.
So they deserve some kind of donations, though. It's not for stealing a scam kind of money or stuff like that.
There's a lot of effort going into
this. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Something completely different. Yeah. Indonesia has a new capital, or hasn't. We don't know yet. We'll discuss after this. But the weather situation in the clip you see now took place a while back in early September already. But it's still worrisome to see that some of the buildings in Indonesia's new capital, Nusantara, on the island of Kalimantan, are seemingly easily damaged by strong wind. And Indonesia isn't a country that's known for hurricanes. We don't have those here.
Yeah.
We do have violent weather with a lot of wind, lightning, and rain. That's about it. So if that damage can be done, if such damage can be done to buildings just like that, that's pretty scary to see.
Yeah, of course. Outside damage to existing buildings, there were also reports from other locations where building materials were blown away. So the site of Indonesia's future capital is basically still a big construction site, you can say. And with only a few limited cities core and the presidential palace being finished in recent months. So what I remember 2 years ago, Jokowi had plans to make a new capital 3 years ago, and it would be finished around beginning of this year. I think it would be finished, and then it would be 6 months later, and then 8 months. So that would be a good reason. And Jakarta is sinking, of course. So 15 years you'll be under the water, and
It will be on the first floor by then.
exactly. So that's another reason to move to Kalimantan. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy and very interested when it's done.
Absolutely, but it isn't done yet.
It isn't done yet, and
That's how we end up at the more recent news of Nusantara. As just a few days ago, headlines popped up on X, formerly Twitter, stating that Indonesia's current president, Joko Widodo, or Jokowi, was to cancel legislation that would officially move Indonesia's capital to another island altogether.
yes. So, but as we know from X, it's a very good source of uncontrolled information. I'm not really sure. That's sometimes or sometimes not.
But the thing is, you can put something on it, and if you're important, everyone will believe it. And if it's fact-checked, no one will see the fact-check. And that's the dangerous part. So,
Yeah, but sometimes the fact checks has to be fact checked as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's
So,
pretty messy.
Yeah, that's the only difference why I like X is that you can post next to, of course, sexual content or hatred content. You can't post that, but the rest, from two sides that never debates. But anyway, the truth is slightly different. But Jokowi won't be signing the documents that would make Nusantara a jure new capital, and Jakarta is just another big city in Indonesia.
Yeah, it's not like I said, misinformation or missed information. If you
It's
post,
like Kompas, actually.
if you post a headline and you read the headline, you need to read the article, and people didn't read the article, so they assumed Jokowi was to cancel everything. That was never the case.
That was never the case.
But if you actually read the news item, it would be clear to you.
So,
What really happened is that But what really happened is that Jokowi actually stated he won't sign the documents, and because the infrastructure needs to be in place first. This is currently not the case, as not even public transport has been prepared, and the road train that was presented a while back was just a borrowed vehicle from the Chinese producer.
Yep. And it will be Indonesia's upcoming president. Inauguration is 20 October. Prabobo Subianto.
Here he is.
That will have the honor of officially moving Indonesia's capital when he feels Nusantara is ready for it. It is not known when the paperwork for the handover will be signed, but it's likely that it won't be a top priority of Subianto Prabowo in the first 100 days of office.
Yeah, I don't think it's priority number one for the new president. We'll know in a few days' time. Today is the 12th.
The first priority to move to the capital.
No, yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it doesn't move it in a second. I mean, you can start by moving, but it will take, I think it will take another year or so.
I don't think the priority is there to do it, actually. There's much more urgent things going on in the world. Than just moving a capital. That will happen eventually.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of is the traffic and the, it's sinking, the sinking city of Jakarta.
But it doesn't take in 1 year. We can wait another year. And even 5 years or 10 years that would be just fine.
It will be eventually, after 10 years, it will be not livable anymore.
We'll see then.
Maybe 10 or 15 years, never know.
At least parts of it.
But no, that's not the top priority. Other priorities is, basically, again, the traffic, I think, is still a lot of work to do.
Indonesia has a lot of problems with rising unemployment in the last year or so. I think that's...
So that you can do the employment, you can let them work in building new bridges, roads, and stronger ones and more stable ones. Doesn't have to be changed every year.
That's how Hitler came to power, remember?
Yeah, well, the transportation, they had a lot of work because of him.
And those roads are still there.
Yeah, and then you can go as fast as in no limit,
Yes.
without a speed limit.
Well, Jokowi is a follower of the Western world, let's put it that way, right?
Also is a follower of Russian in a neutral
Well,
way.
I think that the new president is more broadly, he has a wider vision of the world. And he's looking in more directions than just only the West.
Yeah. That's right. A couple of weeks ago, he actually visited Putin.
Yeah.
And they talked about that they work together. He thanked Putin for giving money and support for the roads and a lot of
I think they had an exercise together as well, military.
Yeah, so I think that, Prabowo wants a broader community all around the whole world. He can also do it better than Jokowi, I think, because first he can speak English. He's lived in England for years.
He's educated abroad.
Yeah.
And of course, he's an ex-army general.
Yeah.
So with his influence and knowledge of the world, I think he can do quite a lot in the coming years.
He can do a lot more than that.
I'm really curious to see how that will develop, to be honest. And, we aren't politically active in this country because you shouldn't be as guests, but we can still express our hopes that Indonesia will be, my hope is that the coming years, Indonesia will be more broadly accepted as an important player politically.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case now.
I don't think that also.
The last 10 years have been difficult for that.
Yeah.
For reasons, but Indonesia has developed, so that's good. But it's also important to maintain and improve international relationships.
Sure.
And I think Prabowo will be the one to do that the coming years.
Yeah, just to take of simple facts, he can speak fluently English.
And of course, his vice president now is a millennial.
Yeah. But what he wants to do is making Indonesia. He wants to, for the first thing that he wants to do is change the Indonesian laws that came from the Netherlands.
Yeah, sure. But
he has a new law book, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, I think it's being discussed, but he has to execute it.
It's not executed yet. Yeah, but he talks about not really want to follow most of the Dutch rules, and we have our own culture and laws.
It has been 80 years of independence, so. Could it be done earlier?
But I want them to work together internationally to let others know their view and have the rights to basically control their own country, their own people, without having to follow rules from the West or from international organizations that think they know what is the best for it. So they have their own old-fashioned culture or the conservative culture, which I like. And that is something that others can decide when they're 18 or older, but not children. You have to leave them alone until they are grown up. That's one of the reasons why I like Indonesia is that because I think that children have a better, safer way of growing up because the parents have the power to raise them and not the government.
Influence of the government's way less than the normal Western countries. Yeah,
exactly. The police will never just interfere and take away kids from their home or something like that. So that's just one of the biggest reasons. Is the safety. It's just so safe. We talked about that before.
We talk about it a lot. Private Indonesia is relatively extremely safe.
Very safe.
People here.
A lot of people say when I live in Indonesia or go back to Holland and I go back. Yeah, but the terrorist attacks and you can die and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's so relative. You can die in a car crash too.
Also, the last big terrorist attacks have been years and years ago. And
it was in
Indonesia,
15 in the Rich Carlton or something. And
they had, of course, the Bali bomb, which is over 2 decades.
But that's long.
And ever since then, Indonesia has worked really hard to suppress terrorist activities. Wonderful job done by the Densus 88.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep on doing the good work. And you don't notice that. But if you don't notice it, that means you do a good job. Because no terrorists attacking him. Yeah, that's right. So outside terrorism, there isn't anything that is bad, dangerous, inherently dangerous about this country. There is no roving bands of murderers in the street. No kidnappings because you look rich.
On average, very limited.
They have big pockets. Everything has happened, but it's way safer than most European
Yeah,
countries.
way safer, and then much more. The harmony is better by talking and smiling to them, which they do very easy. It's just not very safe for me and for everybody actually. So but of course the economic balance of Indonesia with the Western countries, of course, that can be much better. That a lot of people are poor. There's a lot of poverty.
Sure. That's something that needs to be worked on, and I think has been improving over the last.
And I would like to help with those things.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe next time in the future we will actually go outdoor and film.
We should do
Not immediately, but
make outdoors as one.
and then we can show you how the kampung village life is, also the poverty, and how they're still very friendly and nice.
Yep.
And instead of hearing us and seeing our two faces all the time,
Yep.
maybe we will actually go somewhere and you don't have to see our faces.
Yeah. Well, you see our faces, but
Not
not as much.
you can hear our voices probably.
Yeah. Now, I think this podcast will come out in 2 or 3 days from now, which means the next one will be after the inauguration of Prabobo Subianto.
Yeah.
Which means I wish him all the wise wisdom and all the best for his presidency in the coming 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I hope Indonesia will be better than it is now.
Yeah.
Because we always need to strive to improve.
Exactly.
And we won't be keeping tabs on him too closely, but if there is
Something wrong.
a proper different situation than Jokowi, we will report on it because
Then you can balance.
it will influence the rest of the world because there is almost 300 million Indonesians.
Yeah. So then if you have any comments or questions or want to know about certain things, you just
Leave them below.
leave them
the
below,
comments.
and then we can prepare a good story
Yes.
as possible.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching,
And see you
next week.